Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. As today, we tie up some loose ends in this region and then pass on to the next. In fact, I've already tied up a couple of loose ends off screen, the first of which is this poison-filled temple where we first met Nier, which, as we saw before, just leads out to a broken bridge with no apparent way to progress any further. Though coming out here did prompt Shadow to very briefly mention we need to find another way down there. I'm just unclear on how we're supposed to actually do that. There's nothing in our journal, nothing in the lore books, or that we've heard from NPCs about how to progress, at least in this area. So honestly, at this point, I'm not clear on what we're supposed to do, aside from doubling back to the mountain pass. But yeah, no map markers, no updates in our journal. I do hear the Duergar will be leaving after the next time we long rest, and the gnomes will be relocating back over to the other village area. But aside from that, I guess we're done here? I mean, I suppose we could proceed into the Shadowlands without a functional moon lantern, but by all accounts, that seems like a terrible idea. So yeah, we'll just wrap up our business here, then go carve out a foothold in the mountain pass. With a brief return to this region once we've long rested, though that will be a while. Don't want to give up those bliss spores before we absolutely have to.
I'm coming along, just not fast enough. Any word on my people?
Yes, actually. I rescued almost all of them. They should actually be on their way back here now.
You did? Then I owe you more than I can ever repay. Thank you.
Happy to help. And this stuff is all owned, so we'll just wrap things up with Spa.
Peacebringer, be at home.
Yeah, my home's still a pretty long ways off. I did get near, though.
The drow sought to shatter our circle. Now his flesh may feed its growth. In dealing death, you have brought this circle life, and thus we name you Life Chanter. As our circle grows, so shall your song. Wherever you go, only listen, and you may hear it.
I feel like I'm on all the drugs, but thanks, bud. What do we got? Envoy's Amulet, which grants Voice of the Circle. +2 on Persuasion for 10 turns. Once per long rest. Gosh. Wow, you guys really went all out on this one, thanks. A fleshy amulet shaped by Sovereign Spa's own hand. Wherever the bearer goes, so too does the Myconid circle. See, that actually makes it sound kind of interesting. But the actual mechanical effect is very underwhelming. Oh, also, I meant to mention it earlier, but I did go ahead and craft the adamantine scale mail. That's our second chunk of mithril. I figured, what the heck, you know, of the various items we could craft, it was the main one that we could make immediate use of. That wouldn't have been redundant, since we already have the helmet for Lae'zel. I mean, ultimately, it was nothing really worth agonizing over anyway. We're apt to find something even better before too much longer regardless.
Is that blood? No, never mind.
Blooming Drow Head. Well, I really don't want to touch it, but it is marked as a quest item, so... A forest of mushrooms sprouts from near skin, eyes, and open mouth, cheerily feeding on clotted blood. Yeah, I hate that. I hate that it's in my inventory now, but I guess we will find out what it's for. Spa, it's been real. I gotta go. You guys have fun. I am leaving forever. Actually, that's not true. I suppose I am apt to come back, if just to trade with my boy Blurg over there. Also, what's her face? Dareth? Who I've decided we will not be giving the noble stock to. We'll be handing that off to Shadow. That said, yeah, nothing else really jumping out at me here, so... let's smash that pass. I mean, there was mention of a Drider, but nothing about how we could actually find them. So, we'll just focus on the crash. Maybe it's something else that'll be further resolved once we actually do rest. I have heard that Act 1 has a number of events that simply won't progress until you rest enough times.
Blood. This whole plane reeks of it.
That'll wake you up of a fine day, won't it?
I do not need awakening. My senses are sharp as steel.
I suppose it's also possible they could actually be waiting in the Shadowlands. But that would be kind of counterintuitive, because we were expressly warned not to go in there without a functional lantern. But, you know, regardless, we have to hit the pass for the crash anyway, so we'll just focus on that. Looks like a Temple of Lathander, perhaps? Rosymorn Monastery Trail. Okay, yeah, that's definitely Lathander. He is the Morning Lord. And Kresh Yalek. Oh wow, that is way out there. So this is actually another huge region. Technically multiple regions, assuming the monastery itself is its own separate sub-region. So we certainly won't be wanting for things to do. Fair enough. My goodness, this game is absurdly huge. We'll just keep chipping away. With our main focus today being, yeah, to carve out a foothold. Signs of a campsite. Horizontal lift. Parked on the far side of the canyon, of course. Classic cRPG design. Indicates we'll have to find the long way across, and then that's basically just our shortcut back. Oh, we seem to have lost Scratch. Let me resummon.
Wait. These markings. Tirsu script scratched in the ground. As I expected. A creche must be nested in the temple below. We must go there at once.
Yeah, we will certainly do that, but I've got to ask, Lae'zel, how exactly do you think this is going to play out after what happened last time?
You don't have to trust them. Only to trust me. I have not failed you yet, and I have no intentions of it now. I don't need you to believe me for it to be true.
I mean, I don't know about trust. You did try to kill me on at least 2 occasions, but... Sure, yeah, we'll stay on this crash course.
Very well. You may lead. But if we stray too far that our chance is lost, I'll make my way there alone.
Yeah, I do not see this working out the way she seems to think it will. But, you know, we'll follow her lead. Still a fascinating story to explore, even if we already know that the Gith Queen Blackith is innately bad news. Lady Esther. Hello there. Alright, so we've got our root point, we've got our glyph. We've got an obvious statue of Lathander there. We've got an upper path strewn with trash. That might actually lead back towards the goblin camp. There were multiple exits to the mountain pass back there. So let's pop up here real quick. Yeah. Based on the scenery alone, I'm guessing this goes back into the goblin camp. There was an exit to the mountain pass just behind the guard post inside the camp gate. Oh, Scratch. Yeah, let's get Scratch back in here.
Well.
Despite everything.
Welcome back, buddy. I stopped summoning Scratch in the Underdark because there were just so many jumpy paths that he couldn't follow us on. But he should fare a bit better out here. Dead civvies. Non-chatty. Blood trail leading to an obvious cave. Yes, okay. And that does indeed go back to the goblin camp. So that must be the other cave entrance we saw just inside the gate. That does make sense. Nice to get a directional contextual foothold here. So we can focus on exploring this way. Let's go chat up Lady Esther. Get the lowdown on what may lay ahead. That's weird. That's fine. Probably just roll on the clothing chart. That does tend to be the general yield for those sorts of open-topped containers.
North, Rosy Morn Monastery. West, Moonrise Towers. South, Joaquin's Rest.
Oh, hello. Death Shepherd. Also, ghouls. Dead Zealot of the Absolute, Dead Gith. Opulent chest. My goodness. There is a lot going on up there. It's like a train wreck of clashing plot threads. Though I guess it does make sense, because if this is a Temple of Lathander...
Can't give up now.
He's got a whole thing against undead.
Blessed be you, pilgrim. Take respite now in the dawn's loving gaze.
Looks like Lathander. God of the dawning sun.
Yeah, that tracks. I'm guessing our monastery over there was overrun by undead at some point before the Gith moved in. Possibly overrun by Ketheric Thorm. I would imagine Shar and Lathander are natural enemies.
The gods are watching me.
Lathander is neutral good.
Yes? Who goes there?
Lady Esther. Be with you in just a moment. Hey, sweetie. That's just Reign of Terror. She's sitting next to me, staring out the window. What's up, bud? Scratch seems to have detected something. Though I notice that's also in the direction of the undead, so let's tread lightly here. You know what? Let's hold off on that. We'll chat with Esther first.
North, Rosy Morn Monastery. West, Moonrise Towers.
Hail, fellow traveler.
A friendly face. Oh, you are a sweet, sweet blessing, my dear. You know, I've had nothing but trouble all day. I've been accosted, chased, insulted. Look over there. Do you see that wretched little hive?
That appears to be a temple to Lathander.
Oh, it certainly looks that way. But inside, it is swarming with brutish, stupid, rude Githyanki.
Brutish and rude by your wretched standards, but stupid. Chocky.
Your charming companion would call it a creche. But it was built on what remained after the Githyanki slaughtered all of the monks. I'd call it a murderous training camp.
Acutely observed on both counts.
Honestly, I was doing them a favor offering to buy one of their eggs. And how am I repaid? Attacked and run off like some transient.
I'm sorry, so you were surprised that they got upset when you offered to buy their young?
What? No, of course not. I was merely... Well... Look, it's just an egg. The Society of Brilliance asked me to acquire one of their roe so they can incubate it and, once it hatches, raise the spawn in their tradition.
Please, do enlighten me. What is this tradition?
The Society believes a Githyanki raised in a peaceful, nurturing environment can overcome its violent nature. I'm sure your friend would agree. A Githyanki is as likely to forsake its violent nature as a gnome is to fly.
Wow, you are really poking the bee's nest here. I do think I remember her, though. I think Blurg or Omalum specifically mentioned Esther during one of their random bits of banter. I do think it's cool you end up meeting the Society of Brilliance regardless of which path you end up taking. Though in our case, we obviously took both. I mean, I feel like there's millions of examples of violence being a taught trait in this world, not inherited.
You've been sipping from the same goblet as the Society. Perhaps you'd be willing to help then, to prove your point. They may have chased me away, but surely the Gith would welcome a person with such sympathetic views to their creche. And once inside, you could simply purloin an egg.
Steal one of Gith's own. I will slit your throat for even suggesting it.
I'm not talking to you. You'll be well compensated, of course. Just bring me an egg.
Oh, is that what the owlbear egg is for? I've got to say yes there. I feel like just the fact that Lae'zel has not yet slit your throat really kind of flies in the face of your own doubt on this whole learned versus inherited thing. Because, man, if there was ever anyone who was asking to get throat slit... That said, we will keep our options open here, if only because these particular Gith are definitely the sorts who have been trained for violence. But we're certainly not going to commit until we see exactly how things play out. Hey, I don't suppose you have anything to trade?
I should hope so. When adventure calls, I am always thoroughly prepared. Take a look.
Ooh, okay. I see a few interesting things here. Cacophony. +1 quarterstaff with extra thunder damage, and Thunderous Smite. A special attack with extra thunder damage, knockback, and potential knockdown. Once per short rest. That's not bad. Though also not particularly well suited for any of our characters. Hoppy. +1 war pick with Revitalizing Strike. Inflicts extra necrotic damage, as well as a very modest self-heal once per short rest. The Graceful Cloth. Magic robes, which grant +2 dex, +1 dex saves, and increased jump distance. Oh man, see, it's items like that that really make me wish we had a magical clothing slot separate from magic armor, because that +2 dex is pretty sweet, as is the enhanced jumping. But the lack of armor class really gives me pause. Boots of Elemental Momentum. Grants momentum for 2 turns after casting a spell with an elemental damage type. Also, +1 athletics. Pass. Gloves of Baneful Striking. Weapon attacks inflict the Bane effect. Oh, but only on saving throws against your next spell. Okay, so like a really, really watered down version of the Gloves of Absolute's Bane. Also pass. Gloves of Cinder and Sizzle. Grants 1d4 extra fire damage on unarmed attacks, plus Scorching Ray. See, that would be good if we were running a monk, which we are not. And Winter's Clutches. Adds 2 turns of Encrusted with Frost when inflicting cold damage. Ooh. That would actually pair pretty nicely with that Freezy staff we put together. Not that we've really gotten any use out of it thus far, but I have been considering recombobulating Gale to kind of lean into it. That's a maybe. And Periapt of Wound Closure. Grants automatic stabilization when downed, and maximizes healing received. Simple, but potentially very useful. Okay. Nothing here I see as a must-have, but I do see at least a couple of items I wouldn't mind grabbing. Possibly the Graceful Cloth? I'm just hard-pressed to imagine who would actually use it. The lack of base AC is a bit rough, though I suppose we could offset that with Mage Armor. Might grab that for Asterion. Also a lore item. Can't read it without buying it. Alright, fair enough. I'll take it. I'll come back for the rest of this stuff later. I really should pick out a selection of books to read next time we're camping, too. They are starting to stack up. Gotta whittle down that pile.
Now, I believe you have places to be.
I do. Yes, indeed. Maybe not doing your thing, but I do have places to be. Though again, I imagine we will ultimately end up with some orphaned Gith eggs before too long. I don't know how reliable a narrator she is, but she did specifically mention the local priests of Lathander were slaughtered by the Gith. If that's the case, I almost certainly don't see us letting them survive. Call for adventurers. Exploring the nature versus nurture debate, the Society of Brilliance is pleased to announce an open call for adventurers to participate in a groundbreaking research project examining the intriguing and enduring question of nature versus nurture. The aim of this project is to investigate the relative contributions of nature and nurture in determining characteristics, traits, and outcomes. Our hypothesis: a Githyanki raised in a peaceful, nurturing environment will rise above its inherent nature to become a productive and progressive member of society. Your contribution: we require 1 Githyanki egg, unhatched and in good condition, taken directly from a Githyanki creche. Generous payment will be provided on successful completion of the task. Please contact Havkalag at the lodge for further details. Okay, so Havkalag, the lodge. Some new terms getting tossed around. Given what we've heard and seen thus far, I think it's safe to assume that the Society of Brilliance is a recurring faction we'll encounter throughout the campaign. That said, let's go get ourselves some action. We've got a band of hostile undead just up the way. And according to Esther, they are not responsible for slaughtering the local monks, so let's go take them out, see if we can figure out what they are doing here.
I just want a little look. Wonder if the gods are watching me.
I'm gonna guess something to do with that opulent chest there. Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, that's fine. Yeah. They spotted us from so far away. They're actually having to spend their entire first action just to get to us. That works out just fine. Undead ward. In fact, let's tie up another loose end while we're here.
No one's coming. The deal is done.
Oh. Wait. No. That... Is it because we came to the mountain pass? Well, we can still go back, so that's fine. I'll poke at it. I'll figure out what's going on there. Oh, I see. These guys put off some sort of defense aura. Annoying, but not as annoying as being paralyzed, so. Ghouls first.
With haste.
Oh, right. We've still got all these to play with, too.
Have to keep going.
Victory awaits.
No need to hold back. We'll be camping soon. We'll definitely want to be in tip-top shape before we approach those Gith. Alright, let's keep trimming ghouls. Boo! Oh yeah, we can do this now. No leg shot on crossbows. Oh, but we did get a Bane. And set. Hold the line.
This is gonna feel good.
Out of rage, so just start hucking.
1, 2.
Come on, guys. Oh. Wow, okay, so the Death Shepherds can actually just straight up reanimate their fallen brethren. Also, we've got a ghast there. Alright, okay, so that does change the calculus here a bit. I thought this was just a random roadside encounter, but it's actually a full-blown fight. Let's stem the tide. We have to keep these guys from overrunning our front line. Scratch on left. All right, okay. Let's go for a turn undead. About time we got some use out of that. Death Shepherds are immune. Ghouls are not. But we only got one.
I am fury. I am
Lae'zel. Let's grab those swords. Or not? Wow. RNG is not being kind. Immune to daze, of course it is. Alright, well, just keep on poking. Doesn't matter if they're armed or not, if they're dead. Oh, right. Forgot to actually confirm our brand. Nice tag.
Still breathing, despite everything.
And finish him off. One out. Fantastic. Oh, shit. Really? Wow. Oh. Okay, well that is... Yeah, I'm gonna call complete bullshit on that. Nice. Holy moly. So the Death Shepherds can just straight up resurrect any other undead as a bonus action, because that thing got a full attack right after. That is pretty absurd. Though it does give us a much clearer picture of what we actually have to do. Top off, buff. Could sing, could turn. We'll turn. Oh, nice. Actually took one out. for like 5 seconds before they raise it again.
Swift and lethal.
Keep on whittling. Sweep the knees. Lae'zel does have impressive cleavage. Well, okay, maybe not that impressive. Not against these guys, anyway.
Bye forever, pal.
Just kind of trying to balance out our damage here. Whittle them both down, but without killing either. Until we're ready. Ooh, close. But perfect.
Well, so much for peace.
Now the other one. Oh, this one's turned. I thought they were immune. No big deal. We're almost done, I think. Rules back in session. No surprise there. Lae'zel's doing... Oh! Well, that's less than ideal. All right, let's wrap this up. This is getting a mite bit messier than I really wanted it to. Oh, for goodness sake, really? Rex is paralyzed. But that's fine, we got this. I think we can drop them both this round. One out. Orbs deployed. Take the edge off on Auric.
Time to strike.
And finish it. Oh, shoot. Wait. Why? Oh, it's the Ghast. Gosh darn it. Yeah, I forgot. Ghasts have the stench aura. Ghastly fumes, right there. That inflicts nausea, which prevents you from taking actions. Got it.
Smell blood.
That's fine, we're good. We're not car-lacking for options here. Huzzah! So now it's really just mop up.
Still on my feet.
Wait. Disadvantage? Why? Because Shadow's in the way? It's fine. Not a big deal. Okay, hold on now. Let's wait just a doggone second here. You want to stab me, that's one thing. That's just business. You want to stab my dog. Now it's personal.
I will ascend.
Nice. Yeah, so much easier now that we have the defense auras out of play. Yeah, in retrospect, we should have gone after the Death Shepherds first, but I can't say I'm familiar with them. It feels like something new.
Let's cut your fire, baby.
That said, no real harm done. Some minor bumps and bruises. But nothing a good night's sleep won't fix.
Where do I go from here?
And we're clear. Obviously slightly messier than I would have liked, but again, no real harm done. Oh, was it the stench cloud that was blocking line of sight? Alright, yeah, that's
Should mind my step.
obviously not how it works in tabletop, but at least now we know why it was happening.
It's been a long day.
Goodness knows, it's certainly not the first time Larian has taken
At least things have stayed
liberties with the rules as written. Half plate. Okay, nothing special. Not compared to our current gear. Let's crack open that chest. Oh, well that's slightly underwhelming. How about the rest of you? I see we do have one chatty corpse plus...
Trap. Be cautious.
Ah.
My faith
Right,
will
okay.
guide me.
We've also got one more hidden object a little further down. Scratch pinged it from the other side.
Trap.
So a trapped approach, a gaggle of Gith youth, some dead absolute zealots, a band of powerful undead. There was a lot going on here.
Trap. Be cautious.
So someone was obviously preparing for a fight. Trap the pass.
This way.
I've got a long road ahead. Time to press
No real
ahead.
clues on who this wagon might have belonged to. But I suppose we could just ask this guy. Let's clear the bodies first, just in case there's additional clues. Oh, we also have dead squirrels and arrows. Interesting. Okay. So perhaps the zealots were setting up for a fight with the undead when the Gith hunting party just happened to stumble across them, and then all hell broke loose. Oh, full plate. That might actually be an upgrade over the +1 breastplate. And a lore object. Perfect. Let me get a gander at that armor real quick.
Action, not reaction.
18 base AC, no dex bonus, versus 15 plus 2 dex. Yes, that would be a net +1 gain on AC. Very nice. Yeah, that makes me glad I didn't go with the adamantine splint.
No one stopped me yet.
I mean, the splint still would have been slightly better, but this actually gets pretty close. Missive from Moonrise. Duke Ravengard is to be delivered, unharmed or mostly so, immediately. Moonrise Towers cannot fulfill its destiny until the Duke has been delivered. Those who succeed will be rewarded. Those who fail will face first my wrath, then Gortash's, then mine again. General Ketheric Thorm. Yeah, that certainly tracks. Honestly, the only real surprise there is that they're finally just coming right out and saying it. Back in the Underdark, they just kept calling him the General. They also name-dropped Gortash. I believe that is the rival criminal ringleader we read about back in the Zentarum Smuggler's Cove. So things are starting to come together here. Anyway, let's see what this guy's got for us.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Hey, I've got to know, where'd those undead come from?
I summoned them to fight against Githyanki. Attack to buy time for the others to escape with Ravengard.
Cool. And why did the Gith attack you?
Stumbled upon them. Interrupted training while carrying out orders for General Thorm.
General Thorm, you say? And what exactly can you tell me about him? Is that the Ketheric Thorm?
Leader of true souls, chosen of the Absolute.
Cool, thanks. So what does the Absolute want with Duke Ravengard anyway?
The corpse remains silent. It does not know.
Fair. So did the Gith grab the Duke?
The corpse remains silent. It does not know.
Right, I guess you were too busy being dead. Alright, well, I got nothing else. You want a name drop for posterity?
Samwell Staxford. Devoted servant of the Absolute.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Well, Samwell Staxford, it's been a pleasure. I'm glad you were able to clear up what happened here. Though now the question is whether the Duke has indeed been taken to Moonrise, or whether he's been waylaid and ended up in yonder temple, perhaps. No other obvious signs of combat in the area. That would imply the other zealots escaped. I am curious as to how this guy managed to summon something as powerful as Death Shepherds, though. Those things were no joke. I'm gonna guess they just took liberties there as well, much as they did with What's-His-Face and the Spectator. Because, classically speaking, your standard low to mid necromantic spell is just going to yield zombies and skeletons. Not a full-on pack of ghouls and whatever the heck those death shepherds were. That said, we are past time, so this feels like a good place to call it. We tied up a few loose ends, got ourselves a good foothold in the mountain pass. Got a bit of intel about what lies ahead. We'll hit the pause button for now. I'll take care of the usual off-screen bookkeeping, do some quick trading with Esther back there. And we will pick up here next time, as we likely get some rest, and then resume our crash course. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Revenant, Alois, CrowkingLoR, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, Theory V23, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Mark Giemza, Nathan Welch Jr., OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.
Now, I believe you have places to be.